If you already understand parts 1 and 2, you may now start this session. If not, feel free to watch parts 1 and 2 again and check the links below. Let's proceed to the next transaction. In month 2, transaction number 9, paid the amount due to Simple Shirts Corporation in full. Which account should be credited when there is a payment? Yes, it should be the cash account amounting to 8,000 pesos. And which account should be debited? Since it's the amount due to a supplier, it should be accounts payable. It's time to return to our template now. Please record transaction number 9. Here is transaction number 9. Since there are other suppliers, we need to fill in our subsidiary ledger, and in this case, it should be Simple Shirts Corporation. Since we paid the full amount to Simple Shirts Corp, what can we expect their balance to be? Let's check their subsidiary ledger. To do this, we need to filter our account titles. Click on Filter and check Accounts Payable. Once filtered, only accounts payable should remain. However, as we can observe, Happy Wear Corp also appears, but we only need Simple Shirts Corp. So what do we need to do? We need to filter it again by selecting only Simple Shirts Corp in the subsidiary ledger. Alternatively, you can filter the subsidiary ledger directly without filtering the account titles for ease. Since we paid the full amount, our liability to Simple Shirts Corp is now 0. Before we move on to the next transaction, remove the filters in subsidiary accounts and/or account titles by clicking Select All. We can proceed to the next transaction, which is with Happy Wear Corporation. The transaction states that we paid 20,000 pesos to them. Again, we will use the same journal entry as transaction number 9, but with a different amount. Do you remember it? Again, since we made a payment, we credit cash for 20,000 pesos and debit accounts payable for the same amount. Returning to our template, we will select transaction 2-10 to record this transaction. Again, since we are using accounts payable, which has a subsidiary ledger, we need to fill in Happy Wear Corporation. We have already accumulated 61,000 pesos worth of obligations to Happy Wear. After paying 20,000 pesos, we can expect to have a remaining balance of 41,000 pesos. Let's take a look at it. It would be best if you had already downloaded the template available in part 1 so you can navigate it on your own. At this point, you can filter things independently. At this point, we have transaction number 11, which states paid 615 pesos for utilities primarily used in the printing room. Remember, any amount paid related to production that is not classified as direct materials or direct labor should be recorded under which account title? It should be recorded under factory overhead control. The word paid indicates that we need to credit cash. In our template, we input transaction number 11. Don't forget to include the remark utilities. Great! We are now on the last transaction. Transaction number 12 states, recording of depreciation for the printing machine for 1 month. It is assumed that the machine was used only during month 2. During the training, we used the machine from Happyware Corp, one of our suppliers. As a recap, the cost of the machine is 50,000 pesos, with a salvage value of 2,000 pesos and a useful life of 5 years. To compute the monthly depreciation, we subtract 2,000 pesos from 50,000 pesos, which gives us 48,000 pesos. This amount is then divided by 60 months 5 years, resulting in 800 pesos. Now that we have the amount to be recorded, what account titles should we use to record this transaction? For the account to be credited, we will make the same entry for depreciation as we do for service type or merchandising type businesses. Do you remember it now? It is accumulated depreciation, the same account we credit in other types of businesses. We will specify PM to indicate that it refers to the printing machine. So what will be the difference? The difference will be in the debit portion. Since the depreciation is connected to the production process and it is not classified as direct materials nor direct labor, what should the debit be? It should be factory overhead control. We need to record this last transaction in our template. We also added the remark depreciation PM, where PM stands for printing machine. This marks the end of part 3. Congratulations! You've made it to this point. If this session is still unclear, or if you don't remember the pro forma journal entries, please repeat this part until you master it. However, if you have memorized the answers to the questions I've asked during the session and can easily recall the pro forma entries, you are ready to move on to the last and final part. You will learn how to prepare the cost of goods sold based on the ledgers we have created. You can find the links to the previous videos below, as well as the request form for the template. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you.